Welcome to the Stars in the Making with the mission to inspire and frame the future. The star is Dorothy Cheng, model that inspired nearly 30 million people across the globe. When asked about her confidence, without hesitation, she replied, Jesus Christ. In the world where most people get triggered when talking about God, the star, based in UK, raised and born in Hong Kong, from Christian parents, mom from Korea, dad Hong Kongese. On this episode, we dive deep into her story, high and lows, how her faith in God helped her overcoming adversity. Please welcome Dorothy.
Hi, Dorothy. Welcome. I don't know if I would say welcome to the Stars in the Making. Wow. I'm so impressed with your story. So I came upon your video. I came upon your video on this, I think, a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Wow. I was so impressed with your confidence.
Yeah.
Just the way you project yourself. And especially nowadays, it's very sensitive. People are kind of like, sensitive when you talk about God and all that stuff. And I love just how you project yourself. You right away said, Jesus Christ. It's amazing. So before we get into it, please introduce yourself.
Yes. So my name is Dorothy. I am originally from Hong Kong, born and raised in Hong Kong. My mom is Korean. My dad's from China. My dad's from Hong Kong. And yeah, I'm 29 years old. I moved to London 4 years ago to pursue Korean modeling, which I'm very passionate about, and still very thankful to be in this industry in God's will. So, and yeah, now I'm here.
Wow.
So yeah.
So reading your story, it's so inspiring. So inspiring because you actually, especially what you went through and until you came to the point where you are today. Can you talk to me about it? How do you found God? Because you said in your story, there is a time when you were away from God and then you come back. But what is the point that brought you back to God?
I love that you asked this because I was at the church this morning and the sermon just really touched me because it's just, I can't even believe the transformation that God has done in me, that I'm a devoted Christian. If you were to tell me this, a few years ago, even a few months, last year, I wouldn't have believed you. And so, I moved to England when I was 17 years old. And I was born in a very religious household. Both my parents are Christians. And yeah, 17, when you're studying abroad, you go a bit crazy. There's so much freedom. I started just abusing alcohol, and then I did drugs as well. I was partying so much, and I was constantly blackout drunk. Every weekend, weekdays as well. That was like my normal weekend activity, just like drinking with friends, blackout drunk. And I was so desperate for validations as well at that time because I had such a low self-worth, and I was just I definitely cling on to worldly things as well. I attracted so many wrong people in my life. And then it was only in this January, that I came out of quite a toxic relationship that left me very traumatized and broken, and that I had to I looked inwards and I realized all these years of living a godless life and where that had led me to, which is, nothing, obviously. And so I knew that I needed to be rooted in God. And so from January till now, there's still been a very drastic change. I would say from January, I was committed to going to church, but I wasn't fully believing. I knew I needed to go to church, but I was still having some self-doubts, having some doubts about God. But thankfully, he kept on listening to my prayers. He kept on listening to my doubts, and he just clung on to me. And now I'm just a full believer of Christ, and I'm so happy for this transformation that he's granted me. So yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. That's awesome. So let's go about. In your story, you talk about doubting, or sometimes as Christian or as believers, I would say, most people may think that, to be a believer, you're not going to go through any difficulties and things like that. And I see that you had some experience on that. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
tell me a little bit more on that.
Yeah,
And,
I'm really glad that you asked me this, because like that was basically, I was almost feeling a bit guilty from January till I would say April, May, because I had so much doubt. And growing up, I see my parents in church, and no one really talks about having doubts with God. No, I feel like this is quite a not a taboo, but like no one wants to admit that they sometimes have doubts. And yeah, I was having lots of doubts. I was asking him whether he was a real God, and definitely felt a lot of shame in that period. But I'm glad that I went through those doubtful periods, because I realized that those doubtful periods is testing times. It's God testing us, and those tests will strengthen our spiritual growth. And so I'm so glad that, my journey has been just, my journey has been, it wasn't a smooth journey. And I'm glad that it happened that way, because it was through those challenges, obstacles, and doubts that I find my way back to God. So yeah.
that's so amazing. And for someone who may be going through some, struggle in God, or whatever the case may be, what would be your advice on that?
I would say, because coming from someone who's dealt with depression and eating disorder as well in the past, I would say you have to be rooted in God. And I know it sounds so cliche, because I hate when people give this advice. Yeah, just pray to God. But it is true. There's so much truth in praying to God. But you have to pray diligently. You have to be specific. You have to pray to ask him to transform your hearts. You have to ask him to help you to surrender to him, because there's so many things that we can only do. There's only so much that us humans can do. And we have to recognize that we are weak and we need God. And so I would say you have to be rooted in God, and you have to pray to ask him to guide you through it all. Yeah.
You say it again. It seems like it's the same exact question, but you pray. You can pray and still things really don't happen the way you maybe expect. So in that case, what do you actually do on that? What is one piece of advice you would say? Because I think in your story, you talk about it in a way that I'm not going to say it, but please can you emphasize that a little more?
So yeah, those waiting periods, I definitely experienced it as well. So I'm telling you from my own experience. And yeah, again, I'm very thankful for those experiences. During those waiting periods, it was definitely very difficult. But one thing that I've learned that I didn't do before, prior to being a Christian, was that I came to him with whatever frustrations I had. I came to him instead of turning to alcohol, turning to, getting into relationship and stuff. But I turned it to God. I bring it up to him. And that's something that I didn't even realize I could have done. Like, I didn't realize that I could do. I didn't know that I can tell him my doubts and my frustrations, because he's God, But that's what's so great about him. He's so compassionate, he's so kind, and he's so patient and eager to listen to your doubts. And if he knows that your heart seeks for him, he will listen and he'll be patient with you. And so yeah, during those waiting periods, I just kept on reading his words, and reading his Bible is so crucial. It's because that's where his promise is shown. That's where, you can see him delivering his promise throughout the whole entire Bible. And it's because of those words and those promises that has kept me going. It's that sheer faith to know that God will deliver in his time. And it's also, waiting period I think it's definitely a test for you to learn to surrender to God, which is so important as well. And yeah.
It's amazing. That's amazing. And one thing that you just mentioned about these people, most time that when they're going through the hard times, maybe they go to relationship, things like that. And do you have something to talk about into toxic relationships?
Yes.
Mentioning that because you had that experience and how to deal about it. Because I believe you have experience on that, and I think that would be really crucial, especially the day and age we live in today, and that's really important into crazy partnership.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, that brings me back to the point of like, you need to be rooted in God, because if you don't root in God, your root is going to lie in, getting validations or approval, or to fill that empty void with the relationship, which is what I used to do. And that's why I attracted so many wrong men in my life. That didn't have God in the relationship. It wasn't a God-centered relationship. And so I would say definitely just spend the time and to learn about God's teaching and to be by yourself. And it's just when you be by yourself and when you read His words, you learn a lot. And and also feel like if you're desperately seeking for someone to fill that void, you're not going to attract a godly man into your life. And that's how toxic relationship gets formed. So yeah.
That's beautiful. What is that? Now, let's jump into, I was looking up your page, and as soon as I saw the video as well, you are a top model. Talk to us about that. I went through videos and stuff. Oh my goodness, I love it. I so love it. Talk to us about that, your career.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm nowhere top in my game. Everything that I have, it's within God's will. And I'm just so thankful that I get to be in this industry and to continue to do what I love. And honestly, God has shown me so much grace in my modeling that it's actually really funny, because February, it was London Fashion Week.
Yeah.
And I've never gotten a runway job before. And I was in the industry for like 4 years. And so for that season, I prayed to God. I was like, I really want to get this job, but only give it to me if it's within your will. And if you give it to me, I was almost like negotiating with God, which is not, I think I wouldn't do that now. But in February, I was like, God, if you give me this job.
Especially when you're going through something very crucial.
Right.
That actually happened for all of us. I definitely understand what you saying.
I was like, if you give me this, I will glorify you.
That's it.
Yeah. So I got this notification that I got this job that I was in a casting for.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so happy. And and there's just so many other times that God has shown me. But after February, I was like, okay. And then I changed my Instagram bio to, that's something God related, which is, it might be small to some people, but it was kind of like my devotion for God, because He delivered. And I'm just so thankful for the grace that He's shown me in my career. So
that's really, really amazing. We really love all this, what you're saying, this content. We hope, this advice that you're giving helps someone out there.
Really hope so.
Yes, we really appreciate it. So do you have any way to come to the States soon?
I really want to, because my brother lives in New York.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I was there for a month. And I didn't expect myself to fall in love with New York, but something just changed in me. I just feel a sense of belonging there now, and I found a church that I really like, and I'm trying to figure out a way to go back. Maybe I'll study like a Bible school in New York or something like that. So
also,
that's like my plan, and I've been praying for Him to reveal His real will for me. So I really want to go back. I love New York. I love this, but I
love that. One more thing that I want to say. I truly believe that many out there, especially, young girls and upcoming, they really need that confidence that you do have. It's this confidence that you have, according, like when you see the video, you can see how you were coming. That's why I was touched by it. I was like, oh my, I gotta get in touch with her. And is that just came from being, being devoted to God, or something with your modeling career?
Oh, that's such a good question. Thanks for asking that. Yeah, because I think I saw some comments like, oh, it's because she's a model. That's not true. Being a model, if you know, like us model, we're probably the most insecure people. But I would say that it's definitely God that has given me the confidence. And I used to just see confidence and I associate it with physical appearance. But now, after knowing God, it's more than that. It's so much more deep than just your physical appearance, the confidence from your physical appearance. It's like from deep within. It's just this deep sense of knowing that God has got you and you're going to be fine in all areas of your life, even though no matter what sort of hardships you have going through. So it's so much more than physical appearance. I don't know if I'm making sense, but
Yes, you are. This is making so much sense. I love that. That's beautiful.
And it's so cheesy, but like when I walk out now, my head is, held high and I walk with such ease as well. Everything feels lighter now. And that's why I just want to share this gospel to everyone, because I want everyone to feel the same as I do, because he's really transformed me. Like everything from outer and inner, everything, confidence. So yeah.
That's amazing. And looking how to be really authentic to yourself. If you would have to give advice to someone out there, because you are very authentic, I can see how you present yourself. And one piece of advice on that, how to be true to yourself. Because now, I think in your story, you talk about being fake positivity. And that's so true. There is so many people out there that are just faking it. They're not like true to themselves. And how can you be true to yourself, really?
So many good questions. I think I've always been the kind of person that's quite authentic, I would say. But it's also after knowing God, I feel like he really purified my heart. And it's that saying, God wants people who's childlike to go to heaven because they have the most pure heart. And so I always strive to be that. And again, praying, I pray to God to just purify my heart and soul every single day. And I also always pray like not let me get performative in my journey with him. Because I feel like a lot of times how should I say this? I think a lot of people do get a bit performative when it comes to religion. And so I just ask him to always just ground me and not, to humble me so he can shine through me, to use me and shine through me, because it's not about me, it's about him. And so, yeah, I would say definitely praying, to ask him to purify your heart and to just keep on reading his words, because when you understand, and he allowed that. Another thing is, he's allowed me to be my most authentic self.
Right.
And my most authentic self is my childlike self. So it's just come to him and he'll do the rest. So,
wow. Just come to him and he will do the rest.
Yeah.
I love that part. So now, what is one last thing that you would like to share? Do you have any other thoughts you would like to share, and a last message to every star in the making, everyone right there out there who is depressed or maybe have no where to go and so everything is going wrong in their life? Something that you would share with compassion. I mean, you already share so much, but some advice
is that no matter how alone you feel right now, how isolated you feel, how troubled you may feel, feel like God has turned his back on you, I can tell you right now that I've been through those. I've been through those, and to tell you that he has not turned his back on you, not even once. He's not forsaken you. And even during these isolating time is to test your faith, is to let you grow, in spirit. To like allow you to grow in spiritual.
Right. Is it?
And just to be rooted in God, because as long as you're rooted in God, he'll provide the rest. And I'm a testimony of that. I truly am a testimony of that. From January to now, I'm a completely different person because I put my faith onto him and let him do the rest. And honestly, now everything feels way more easier to cope. And yeah, just be rooted in God. That's what I'm going to say. Rooted in God and trust that He's going to deliver His promise because He did with me and He'll do it with you guys as well, all of you. So please continue your faith journey with God.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being in the Stars in the Making.
Thank you, Rick.
Really love this Zoom recording.
Thank you.
And I hope when you get here, please let us know. And
Yes.
we're going to do a full podcast. We're going to come to New York in person. I really would like to share more with you. And please let us know. We're going to be here with the entire crew. And we're going to be beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me, share the gospel with your platform. So I'm very thankful for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you to you. Thank you for your time, for letting us know, use your time. And we definitely appreciate you.
Thank you, Ricardo.
Yes.
God.
All right, Stars in the Making, we're done. I hope you guys love this magnificent message. And yeah, good to go. Stay in peace.